Hello there! I'm so glad you decided to join me. Welcome to Pearls of Eden, and we're going to get into the current news. You all know what you showed up here for the DNC. We're going to have a conversation about last night and all the shenanigans, all of the tea, you all. We're going to break it down. So where do I start? Because listen, there's much to talk about. Last night we see that they had barricades everywhere because there's protesters, there's people showing up and they showing out, right? And so we see what I was surprised to see so many barricades. Well, I guess another word would be fences or walls, but I was caught off guard because I thought, are these the same people who are against fences? Like, they are against building a wall. Like, they are not about that life. They're about come all, ye all, right? But that ain't what we saw. And in fact, because they were having so many people trying to break in and their little security barrier, they had to install even more barricades. What? Yes, girl. Yes. They had to install more fences. Yes, they did, child. Yes, they did. They had it more secure than our borders. You heard what I said. I said the DNC was more secure than our borders. Why can't we take some of them measures and take it to the board? I'm asking questions, right? But y'all, we're going to keep on moving, all right? I'm going to let you see for yourself just a little bit what's happening outside of the DNC.
Terrell, there are questions this morning as to how secure this perimeter really is after we watched dozens of protesters yesterday seemingly unhook and dismantle this outer fencing with ease. Early this morning, once delegates and dignitaries had left for the night, crews went to work outside the United Center to reinforce the DNC security perimeter. A group of protesters breached the security fencing Monday even before the gavel fell on first day proceedings. Whole sections of snapped-together iron fencing taken down, and in some cases dragged away by protesters. Chicago police broke out the riot gear.
All right, so they brought everybody out. I'm talking about they brought out all the ancient artifacts. They rolled out Jesse Jackson. They brought out, Maxine Waters, right? Who has been there operating in the system since the beginning of time, okay? When the Lord said, let there be light, she turned on the switch. Y'all remember that joke? Yeah. Okay, I'm just saying. All right, okay, we're going to get back on track. They brought out AOC, who is the firecracker for the Democratic Party. And she did what she does. She came out and she was like, pow, 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 everywhere. She came with guns blazing, right? You know, AOC being AOC. Okay. This was kind of like, why are you here? I know you were president in a sitcom or you were president in a show, but you're not like, why are you here? They brought out the guy from Scandal, who was the president and had an adulterous affair and everything was scandalous with Kerry Washington and his character. Yeah. Which I guess is appropriate, right? That they bring out a scandalous speaker who played a scandalous part for something very scandalous in our U.S. government. Because when you think about, let's just think about people didn't even vote for Kamala. They voted for Joe Biden. And I'm still pondering on how in the world did they get this bait and switch, and the people of the Democratic Party still don't understand that they were run amok on. They were bamboozled. Well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on. All right. And then so this was really, I just don't know how I feel about that. And I wasn't ready, you all. And don't judge me. But I just wasn't ready. When they brought out the guy with ALS, God bless him, and they had the woman interpret for him. Check it out.
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign. We found our way there because we believe in the power of organizing. Then we found each other.
So yeah, I'm just gonna leave that right there. And then of course you have Joe Biden's daughter come out and she shares this heartwarming story about how for her birthday, her mother pulls out this cake and they are at the train station or whatever, and he has to disappear into the night after giving her a big hug and blowing out the candles of the cake and how magical it was. I don't know. I probably twisted that story a little bit, so I'm just going to let you hear it for yourself. Take a listen.
I have this memory. It's the eve of my 8th birthday. Dad is still in D.C., tending to urgent matters in the Senate. That night, as a surprise, Mom told me, Bo, and Hunter to get in the car. I remember pulling up to the Wilmington Amtrak station, riding up the escalator to the platform. The train stops, doors open, and Dad steps out. As soon as I saw him, I run down that platform and jump into his arms. Like magic, Mom brought out a cake, they sang happy birthday, and I blew out the candles. Dad hugged me, and he said that he had to get back to work. He crossed to the southbound train, and off he went to D.C. That was a snapshot of one moment, of one day, on this extraordinary journey of being Joe Biden's daughter.
Yeah. So isn't that interesting? There's a lot to be said. I actually wondered, you all, if she was going to address the diary, because everybody, if you don't know about the diary, if you haven't seen the diary, there's a lot of questions. So I was surprised she didn't address that, and put people straight, set people straight, but she did not, you all, which leaves even more questions. Whew, child, I'm telling you, the DNC, it was really interesting, but then it was kind of like a snooze fest. Like, we were waiting forever for them to wheel Joe Biden. We were waiting forever for them to bring Joe Biden out. And they brought him out, near the midnight hour, right? What? This is the same guy who said, please, listen, we ain't doing no meetings after 8 because I got to get my rest. But I guess ever since Kamala has stepped up and taken the reins and has been running for the next president of the United States, he's been getting all of his sleep, honey. He came out there refreshed, renewed, invigorated, dare I say. I don't even think that Mr. President stuttered once. Okay, maybe he did. But y'all, it was pretty coherent. It was pretty... Take a look. Take a listen.
Recognizing no one, leaving no one behind, and becoming the nation that we profess to be. I also ran to rebuild the backbone of America, the middle class. I made a commitment to you that I be a president for all Americans, whether you voted for me or not. We have done that. Studies show The major bills we have passed actually delivered more to red states than blue.
So yeah, I really don't have anything negative to say. He came out and he did what President Biden was gonna do. Address the people, hype them up a little bit, told some not truths, even to the point where Snopes, who is a very liberal media fact-checking source, had to be like, no, you done went a little bit too far. That is not the truth. So, but hey, again, you know what you're gonna get, right? So it's up to you to do your own homework. It's up to you to do your own research. That goes for both candidates. If you just take whatever they say and you don't do any investigation on your own, well, shame on you, right? You deserve to be fooled. So if you're not in the point of the game with all this information, with all the whole world at your fingertips to figure out the truth from a lie, then, well, you just know what? You just deserve to walk in darkness. You just deserve it, because it's just too much knowledge at our disposal to be walking around here ignorant. So, what do I think about the DNC? I thought it was, kind of boring. I felt like they threw a lot of speakers at you and it was kind of overwhelming because they said a lot of nothing. They didn't say much of anything that really the real people want to understand. How are you going to fix this? They didn't put any policies or any legislation. They didn't talk about anything that truly was of substance. So I would have a problem with that as a viewer, trying to decide who I want to vote for. That would be an issue for me. But hey, we'll see what day 2 has to offer, because I'm sure they'll pull out, all the stops, all the celebrities. Or will they? I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, so that wraps up today's current news. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you like this kind of stuff, subscribe, stick around. And I look forward to seeing you in the comment section. Take care.